Whatever you are doing right now, I want you to stop and I want you to say out loud. You might be in school, you might be on the bus, you might be at work, you might just be watching at home, so for you it's probably easier. I want you to say out loud in 3 seconds who you think the biggest team in Scotland is. 3, 2. I bet a lot of you said Celtic. I bet a lot of you said Rangers, but I bet not many of you said Dumbarton. Dumbarton, of course, were the first champions of Scotland. They shared the first ever league that there was in this country with Rangers, and they won the second one outright. If you'd have told the people of Dumbarton back then that fast forward 150, 160 years that they would be in League Two, the fourth tier of football, I'm sure they wouldn't have believed you. This video isn't about Dumbarton, although I have been here a number of times before. I've seen games here, I've done like historical videos about Dumbarton, and I know at the start of this video I said to you who is the most important football club, and what if I asked you what the most important football region was? I guess a lot of you would say Glasgow, but a lot of people don't realise how big this area of Dumbarton is, and up to Alexandria and Renton and all these incredible places. The River Leven flows through this area and forms the Vale of Leven, and on the Vale of Leven stands Dumbarton Football Club, who were the first champions of Scotland and have since won all 4 tiers of Scottish football. There is also Renton, who were once champions of the world, and Vale of Leven, who celebrate their 150th year as a football club this year. Kind of. They are now a different club compared to the one that they actually started off as. They are one of Scotland's lost clubs. I'll be taking you through it all in this video. It's going to be a fascinating one. If you like your football history and you aren't aware of some of these clubs, then you will be today and you will be wowed, I promise you. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you're new, and let's go and check out Scotland's most important football area that you've never heard of. We are in Renton, which, if you know your Scottish football, is one of the most historic places in the history of the game here. And somebody's told me before, once or twice, that the old centre circle of the old pitch is here somewhere. There's something I've got to show you on the new one, which is where like an amateur team plays now, but they're apparently maybe in someone's garden or in like a little public park. I'm sure it's in someone's garden. There's an old centre circle. Where's the World Champions sign gone? Hello, mate. So how come you had to take it down?
We were painting.
Ah, okay, fair enough. Oh, looks good, yeah. I can see it looks good, yeah.
I think it was brown the last time you were here.
Yeah, it may have been. That was a while ago now.
I seen your video on YouTube.
There we go. So the sign's back up. Home of the former World Champions,
Nice.
Renton. There we go. 1888.
1888.
Yep.
What's interesting about that year?
1888.
What's this? Where to see this?
Oh, that was the year the was it the year the English Football League started? Was it?
No. So what's my Reggie? 1888.
1888.
So what happened then? Celtic were formed.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Got a couple of things. So this top here.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. So the background to this is John O'Hare.
Yeah.
Signature there.
Yeah.
European Cup winner before us twice, 78, yep. 79.
Yes.
Renton boy.
Really? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's a Renton boy, he's also my uncle. So
oh, amazing.
He donated that.
Brilliant, yeah.
And here's a nice one. We only recently get donated this. And that's a bit about West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, I can see. So what does it say? Renton v West Bromwich Albion for the International Championship. Yeah. So they were champions of the world because the only two countries that played football at that point were England and Scotland, and these were the two best of the time, I suppose.
That's the West Brom in their stripes, and that's, I'll tell you, that's Renton. Aye, Kelly. And Kelly from Renton went on to play for Celtic in their first
team. Is Andrew Hannah, would he have played in this game? Because he was Liverpool's first captain, also played for Renton, didn't he? That says Hannah there, does it? I think that top name there, does
no,
that say
it's
Hannah?
Lindsay.
But the one below that, is that not Hannah?
Hannah, yep.
So one of them would be Andrew Hannah, which went on to be Liverpool's first ever captain in their first ever game.
I never knew that.
And was that the old stadium there?
No, it wasn't played here. Where was it played now?
Oh, was it Kafkin Park, maybe?
Kafkin Park.
Was it in Kafkin Park?
Yeah.
And so, speaking of the stadiums, this isn't where the original Renton would have played.
Over the road.
Okay.
In Tontine Park.
And is there now a centre circle about that, is there?
There's a myth that there is, but it's a garden now. So
oh, it doesn't really exist now? Oh, that's a shame, that's a shame. So this shirt here, yeah?
Yeah.
That's one of the current teams, right?
The rationale behind that was West Brom away.
They play in that colour as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. So even the football team to this day...
We still do a bit.
Yeah, and it's just a kids team, you say? There's no senior squad, but
No.
for the kids. So do the kids know, like, they're playing in West Brom's away colours because of the history and stuff? Yeah. That's funny, yeah. Right, so apparently the centre circle is an urban myth. I've been given a little water bottle key ring, sticker kind of thing to take away me, a little Renton souvenir, I suppose, to take away. But yeah, apparently the old centre circle is a bit of an urban myth. Obviously the site at which it still stands as where it used to stand as a garden. That pitch behind me now is owned by the club. They are just a kids club, but they now have an affiliation with Dumbarton FC, they were telling me. So some of the best kids get to go on and play for Dumbarton. So there's a route for them to go and actually play professional football, which is amazing, given the roots of the club. And how cool that they get to wear the shirts that are the same colour as West Brom's away shirt. But this wasn't meant to be a Renton specific video. I was just meant to like stop off on the way through to see Vale of Leven, who I'd actually arranged to come and see. I just thought I'd stop off at Dumbarton and Renton on the way to show you. But while I was here, I wanted to show you this. Look, this is the first ever league table. There's a lot of clubs on there that you would recognise from the olden days and the more modern days of Scottish football as well. Look, you got Third Lanark, who I've told you about numerous times before. Look, Celtic and Rangers are in there, obviously. But there is a big exception of a team who were incredible back in those days, and it was Queen's Park. Queen's Park didn't want to be in the Football League. They didn't want professionalism. They only started paying their players, I think, 2019. So, yeah, Queen's Park were the biggest team of the time back then. They were huge in the Scottish Cup. They've won that 10 times. They're still the third highest winners of the Scottish Cup, believe it or not, despite the fact that they'd won them all prior to 1900, which just goes to show how good they were back then and sort of how dominant Celtic and Rangers have been since. But yes, look at some of the other teams on there. Dumbarton, Renton, Vale of Leven, all teams that we are going to see today in this video. This is one of the most incredible locations for football, again, that you may never have heard of before. Let's bring it back some memories, this video. Proper OGs of the channel will remember when I actually came here and made Renton and Vale of Leven specific videos 18 months ago. Maybe a little bit longer, probably about around that. But it was during COVID, so it was when you couldn't even meet up with anyone that wasn't in your household. God, do you remember those rules? I couldn't meet up with anyone, not like I did at Renton today. I just had to sort of go there on my own. Not that there'd have even been anyone there, because you could only travel about for work or whatever, which it was for me, but it was hard to make videos. And I came here once before as well. This is the home of Vale of Leven. This is, I think, where the old Vale of Leven played as well. So with Renton and now Renton Craigandro, the team that we've just sort of looked at there, they do play in the same town but a slightly different location in terms of stadium. But this is the home of triple Scottish Cup winners. Not only were they the Scottish Cup winners, but they won it 3 years in a row as well, which is some feat for a team of this size. They were also founding members of the Scottish Football League, as I'd have shown you earlier, with that old league table with all those old teams in it or whatever. But Vale of Leven, they are named after the River Leven, which is just over there, look, as you can see. Beautiful part of Scotland, this. I always like coming out this way. And here we go, look, this is what the football club's named after. There they are, the cup winners, and it says they're the old Pavilion Scottish Cup winners, 77, 78 and 79. 18, 77, 80. And so, just before we get into everything, could you just introduce yourself? Let everybody know what you do here at Vale of Leven.
Yeah, I'm Angus Wallace. I'm the secretary, treasurer.
Yep.
Have been for a considerable period of time.
Nice.
Man and boy, so...
And here's Ollie, your dog as well. Happy dog, walking about the place as well. There she is. So, for anybody watching who may not be aware, just how big is the history of Vale of Leven itself as a football club, but also the clubs within the area, Dumbarton, Renton and everybody else?
Well, yes, I mean the Valley, that's what we're celebrating this particular year. It's not just Vale of Leven, it's football in the Valley. Yep. 150 years in the Valley. So Dumbarton, Renton, Dumbarton have obviously got their 150th anniversary this year as well. We are hoping still to get a friendly match with them. But they're a bit slow at the moment.
They got a lot going on, I suppose, with them being in League Two this year.
It's nice to get Queen's Park, because we've got great history with Queen's Park, going back to the original...
The 1800s, I suppose. And so you played them in the friendly on Tuesday this week, didn't you?
Yes, we did. Queen's Park very kindly offered to come down and play us in the first match to kick off the anniversary. Yeah, amazing.
And just how important is it then for the people of the area to remember the history of this club? Obviously, we just looked at this. Triple cup winners in a row as well. It's not
but I mean,
what a record.
You know, I suppose Vale of Leven weren't a provincial club at the time, but they would have been one of the original members of the Scottish Football League. Yep. A big club at the time, but I don't see any sort of provisional club winning the Scottish Cup 3 years in a row now.
No, exactly.
No, I mean a great history. You know, the game on Tuesday night, Queen's Park won it the first 3 years, Vale of Leven won it the next 3 years. Yeah. So a great history. You know, and we remind people in the area of where we've come from. You know, we've got the kids' football here as well now. We've got about 12 teams. So we sort of drum it into the end and the history of the club.
So you have the 3 stars.
3 stars for the
three Scottish Cups. The years there, and then 150 years in the Valley.
Yeah, and the 1 star at the bottom for the Scottish Junior Cup in 1953.
Oh, okay. Oh, I did see some like cuttings on the wall, I think, in some of the frames in there about the Scottish Junior Cup.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Amazing, yeah. We were talking earlier about the stand, as you can see over there.
Yeah.
So it looks like an amazing old stand. This is the same stadium that the original Vale of Leven would have played in. This is now technically a different club, is that right? Could you explain that for everyone?
It's not the original ground. The original ground was up in the town centre.
Ah, right, okay, yeah.
So they played up there for sort of 8 years or so.
Yeah.
Moved down to Milburn.
But so the original team did play here. It wasn't their first ground, but the old team did actually play at this stadium.
The original team did play here, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what was it like back in those days then as a stadium? How many people would you have got here for a game, do you think?
Oh, goodness knows. They would be crammed in their flat caps, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Smoking their cigarettes.
Yeah.
On the high, it was quite high banking on the cinder terracing.
You got Vale of Leven's next big player there as well.
Yeah.
And so now you're a West of Scotland League team, right?
Yes.
So could you just explain where the club is now and maybe what the ambitions are moving forward as well?
Well, in terms of the pyramid system, we're in tier 7, I think it is. So we're currently in the 3rd division, in the West of Scotland division. Yeah. There is now a new 4th division. Yeah. With the new clubs that have come in the last sort of 2 years. Yeah. So our ambition is always to get promotion and move up the leagues. Yeah. We realise that we're never going to, well, very unlikely to get promotion into the Lowland League, but
you never know. The pyramid's there now.
The
things
pyramid
could change.
Is there. So you still dream.
I've never had a dog mess up my interview, but you know how much I like dogs on the vlogs. Right, you want me to play? You want me to kick that for you? Right, come on in. That should give me a few seconds to tell you a little bit more about Vale of Leven. So yeah, there was a few name changes and stuff, and I implore you to watch my original Vale of Leven video. We're getting sprayed by the sprinkler, we're getting chased by wee Ollie down here as well, but yeah, I'd encourage you to watch my old Renton video, old Vale of Leven video, for a little bit more information about the club. Today I wanted to show you the Vale itself, and the Dumbartons and the Rentons and the Vale of Levens, and see how they all connect, because it is incredible how these three teams were founding members of the Scottish Football League, the league structure that you know and love. This team here won 3 Scottish Cups. Renton were the champions of the world. Dumbarton were the first champions. Now this team are West of Scotland. Now Renton don't even have a men's team, but it's just the kids team, as we saw earlier. And now Dumbarton are in League 2. So amazing to see that these 3 clubs who were at the forefront of Scottish football in its earlier days are now, you know, a lot lower than when they began. Look at this old stand. This is incredible. This is a bit of me. I think Angus was just saying this was here from the turn of the century. Wow, look at this. I like Carlisle Stadium because it feels like an old barn, but I mean, look at this. This is old school. Think of the history of this club, and you can tell how historic it is just from this stand alone. I mean, look at all this. The amount of people that would have stood here to watch Scottish Cup winners and huge names, and now West of Scotland League football. I'm back in the office to do my outro for this video. You may have seen in a couple of recent videos that I've had a new book in my backdrop, and I've had to put a bookmark in it because I need to take you through something for the end of this video. This is Scotland's Lost Clubs by Jeff Webb. And he takes you through certain clubs such as Vale of Leven, Renton, who aren't around anymore, St Bernard's, who I've covered before. There's teams in here like Third Lanark, who I've covered before, and ones I haven't covered before that I would love to, such as Abercorn, Leith Athletic, some great clubs with some amazing history. But let me just read you a quote of this to wrap up about Vale of Leven. So this is getting towards the time that the club actually folded. That is the original club, of course. The club's finances had been taking hit after hit, and after leaving the SFL, the Scottish Football League, match gates had plummeted to an average of less than 200 people. This, plus a big overdraft still being maxed out, made it impossible for the club to continue. By 1929, they didn't look likely to have a future outside of the local leagues, and with the global downturn, their committee took the difficult decision to fold the 3-time Scottish Cup winners 50 years after their last triumph. Vale of Leven's home ground, Milburn Park, continued to be used as a football ground when the Vale OCOBA, Old Church Old Boys Association, used it until 1939, when they were invited to join the Scottish Football Alliance. Vale OCOBA promptly joined, but as a reformed Vale of Leven. They joined the junior ranks after the Second World War and went on to become successful, including winning the Scottish Junior Cup in 1953. They still play at Milburn Park, and in 2020 joined the senior ranks as part of the West of Scotland Football League. Yes, it's amazing really to think about the amount of clubs in Scotland who aren't really around anymore, but were at the forefront of the game that we all enjoy to this day. I know the pyramid system's only been around since 2013. I think you get promoted into the SPFL, the professional leagues, but I mean, there were clubs who started it off who are now in the West of Scotland League, or who now don't have a men's senior team like in Renton. So yeah, there's loads of these amazing side stories in Scottish football. Please do hit that like button if you got this far in the video. Please do subscribe if you're new as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.